Good morning, my little weirdos. Listen, I have not even had my pain yet. I've been up, but just kind of, and Mr. Pants over there, Mr. Happy Little Pants, Mr. Fuzzy Pants, Mr. Raspy, kept waking me up. It was just a little chilly, and I had all the windows open yesterday because it was really beautiful out. And my nose is still stuffed because I haven't taken my med yet. And he, even before it was dawn, he's acted all like, I'm just paying attention to myself. Don't believe him. He would not leave me alone until from the time before it was dawn. I'm like, it's dark out. Come on, Raspy. And he just, every time I fell back to sleep, he'd like the little wet nose. The cold, wet nose. Which I'm glad it's cold and wet, but. So I got up, bathroom, get them fed. I'm just like, ugh. And while I was getting ready to get my meds, pain meds, and my allergy pills, I saw this, a reel on Facebook, and I had to follow it to YouTube. Billy Simons Jr., just him and his guitar, and I guess this was posted 3 weeks ago. Listen, it's just him and his guitar, so it's just listen to him. Okay, let me turn up the...
Oh, say, can you see what I see? The future ain't what it used to be, and I'm not proud of anything that I've seen tonight. So tell me about that flag you wave, and what your bumper stickers say, and how you parse apart your faith who's seated on the right. So dress up in your suit and tie, and say thank yous, feel polite, and raise your arm out to the sky. Your Fuhrer is your friend. Then when that grifter steps in shit, they lick his boots from heel to tip, or feel the wrath of all of it. Praise Jesus Christ, amen. 'Cause now,
Exactly.
we're great again.
Yay.
Dissolve the law and federal courts, defund the peer-reviewed reports, retract the hand that feeds the poor, the hungry ones can't speak. So raise a glass to business whores and autocrats and saboteurs, and text them about your wars left floating on the sea leaks. Berate the South, invade the North, and conquer all the impoverished shores. Identify him and extort all those who lack defense. Forget the pain of common sense. We abolish companies and designate all immigrants as sick and evil men. 'Cause now we're great again. And Francis King tries to explain that freedom's not a first-class train. Your red hat cannot be exchanged as credit towards your rent. The land of all the free is a lie, so where do all the brave reside? The bombs are bursting through the sky, that's where your money went. A modern Betsy Ross is made a flag the fascists celebrate. Our motto now commemorates the sword above the pain. No, we are not inspired hosts, your huddled and your tired folks are propaganda for our shows, and we are not your friend. But now we're great again. Now weakness is admitted wrong, so do your part and play along. The show on the White House lawn would make your granddad proud. So tell me who needs enemies when you got Fox and friends like these who spend the daytime on their knees in service to the crown.
God, he's good.
We bow down to the motorcades with banners and our boat parades. The emperor we celebrate, not wearing anything. That starry-spangled banner waves goodbye to golden yesterdays. The ramparts now have all been raised to clearly represent. But now, somehow, we are great again.
I don't know about you. Sorry. Stop sobbing before it's 9 a.m. I don't know about you, but that hit. Those words. Those morose words. And the scenes, the visuals they created with such a mellow but cheery kind of, plucky sound melody with such a sarcastic pride really got me. And the words were just well placed. Again, he's Billy Simons, Simons Jr. You should go check him out, because he also has a very, very disarming appearance. Just very everyday guy, youngish white guy, brown hair, mustache, beard's short, just seems like a very mellow kind of, face. And all that came out of it. Well, what do you guys think about what he said? I mean, he hit some things, sometimes just hitting a couple things of the absurd. You don't have to do the whole list of the horribles, because even some of the absurd, like the whiskey leaks, that was good instead of WikiLeaks. That was good. And it probably was, except the first time too, to be honest with you. Because he obviously likes to add people to chats, just likes to get his big old face out there. You don't add anybody to chats that you don't need to know about that topic. Just adding people to chats just so you can fucking brag and say, look what I'm involved in, finally. But, wow. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on him. There's also, I think I played one for you. It's a Canadian guy that's been doing a lot of, like, why they don't need us type of stuff. And, like, what the hell happened to their friend. And he's really good. Gosh, I can't remember who. You'll see, I've talked about it in one of my videos, one or two of them. But anyway, what do you guys think about this Billy Simons? Yeah, I think he hit it pretty good. Hey, look, we're great again. We're great again. I love the way that melody went there. Yeah, it kind of slid into, yeah, we're great again. Yay. If we're so great again, how come nobody's celebrating us with parades? Oh, America has saved the world. How come we haven't heard any of that? Because we haven't. We've destroyed all the good that's been done for the last few decades, has been ripped away. And the people around the world we were trying to keep alive are now dying because of us. We are absolutely not great again. We're at our absolute. In the last 100 years, we're at the absolute what the fuck most time. Because we had good and we let it go away. And it's just going away. Sliding right through our fingers. And I'm not just talking all the good programs and such in this country. I'm talking across the world. There are animals and plants in America that aren't anyplace else, just like other countries have. And he's just drilling and mining, and just his plans are, if it's not stopped this year, things are going into effect in the summer and the fall. He's got to be out. He has to be gone. Oh. And if Vance is as bad, then we impeach him too. Get rid of all of them. We have to do it, people. We have to do it. I'll keep going to protest, and I'll keep making my videos, and I'll keep showing you the pain they're inflicting on everybody. The despair, and none of it is necessary. None of it is necessary just so a handful of rich people can get richer. People. I'm doing everything I can. The rest of you need to step up who aren't. You have to start stepping it up. Because those of us that are already stepped up fully can't step up anymore. We're doing everything. We're spending hours every day just on politics. Where our voices are going. Our voices are betraying us because we've used them so much. Some of you others need to start stepping it up and not just making calls, doing more. Because it's slipping through our fingers. What's more important, losing some friends because of your stance? Your stubborn stance, or losing your country and your way of life? Which is more important? Which is more important? Starting to speak up loud, a little more often, a little more strenuously, and maybe losing some long time friends? Or losing everything you have and everything your children were working for? Is that worth friendships of a few decades? I know those friendships are valuable, but if it's those friendships that are keeping you from being more vocal about what's happening, which is more important? Those friendships, which I know are valuable and they're good people, except for their politics. But their politics invade your entire life. And that's what I need people to understand. I know some of these friends are longtime friends. Good people who have been misguided in politics. But those people are going to ruin what all of us have and what your children and your grandchildren, and I know you have grandchildren. What is more important, your children, your grandchildren, or those friendships? I'm just saying, it's getting to a point where more people need to do more. And if you're not doing it because you don't want to upset some of your longtime best friends, you might want to reconsider. you might want to reconsider what's more important: lifelong friends or your children and your grandchildren. Because that is the decision coming very quickly for people. I don't want to speak out because I have, half a dozen couples that we've known for decades, since we were kids, and they're really good people, but they're serious MAGA. And if they know that I'm doing that and stuff like that, they're gonna be not happy with me. If that's the whole reason on told you it was first thing in the morning. So if anything like that is the reason why you're just quietly maybe making a comment on your stories or something, not necessarily in a post saying this shit needs to stop, loud and big type of stuff, speaking up, not just peeping up in a little corner quietly, it's a start, and it's a good start. But you got to step it up, and you got to step it up now, because some of these things that you're hearing about, he's got initiated this summer and this fall. Okay? You need to step it up, and you don't have a whole lot of time left to start the stepping up. Now, a lot of us 4 million have been doing stepping up for you. You need to do something at least once, because it's a choice between lifelong friends or your children and your grandchildren's way of life. Which is more important? I understand that long-time friendships are very valued. I understand that, and I'm not making light of that at all. But which is more important? Your children and your grandchildren's way of life, or your lifelong friend? That's an individual choice, but it's coming to that now. You're not going to continue, if this continues like this, and the Republican leaders don't step up and speak up against him, you're going to have to start making choices, some of you. Are you just going to continue because you don't want to upset your lifelong friends and alienate them and make them mad at you? So you're just going to speak up quietly in little corners of the internet, not showing your face? I mean, those help, and those are a start, but you can't stop there. That's not all. You're not doing your part if that's what you're doing. You're not. How much does your way of life matter to you? You understand it's not, we're not just talking for like a week or this month or once a year. Now we can't do this. You understand that, right? I mean, like, we're talking Anne Frank times here, people. You do understand that, right? Because I don't think a lot of you understand how serious this is getting. I don't think you do. You're in denial. You're acting like it will always work out, and it will work out this time. But the people that always work it out are not fucking in the government right now. They made them go away. So there are no balances and checks for these people like they're supposed to be, because they fired them all. Why? Because Republican leaders did not stop them. They stopped the Democrats from stopping them. So if you want to direct your anger, direct it at your Republican Congress and senators. Yeah. Start doing that. Start finding Republicans. They don't have to be in your state. They don't have to be your senator or your representative for you to call the office and tell them to knock the crap off. You're affecting my state too. Do it. I've done it. Call your state. Start calling your state, not just your federal representatives. Start leaning on your state government, your state Supreme Court. I had a long conversation with my state senator, their office, yesterday, probably a 30-minute call. He's like, I really got to go. I know, and I thank you for listening so long, but this has been needing to be said to the right people for so long, and I finally found, and he goes, no, it's okay. It's understood. I'm going to start doing it with the Republicans, because I found out, I thought you really didn't have much say, if you say I'm from, this state and I'm calling you. But actually, apparently you absolutely can, and they have to take the information, because what they're doing is now affecting our states. And therefore, we have every right to call the states of the senators that are doing this shit and saying, hey, now you're effing with our state, so knock it the F off, and y'all need to can do that too, and I plan to do that. From now on, I'm just adding that. That's what I'm saying. I'm stepping it up a little bit. You sure the fucking step it up a little bit. I'm just getting very frustrated right now with a lot of people that aren't speaking up in this country. I get with your job, some things you can't. I get that. But you can make calls. Your job doesn't prevent you from making private calls on your own time to politicians. They can't fire you for that. Speaking out, saying something, maybe doing a video, they might want to try to do that. They can't stop you from calling politicians. They can't fire you for that either. Start doing that, what other people aren't doing. If you can't protest or publicly do something like that, you're still publicly speaking up. You're speaking up to the other states' representatives. That's speaking up. I'm talking, when I say you have to speak up publicly, I'm not saying do what I'm doing or make graphics or make a post saying you all suck, type of shit. Wake up. Public is with the leaders too. They're the public. But we all need to step up. I'm freaking stepping up, and there's not a whole lot further I can step up, okay? I make videos, I make graphics, I spend at least 4 hours or more a day doing that shit, not to mention all the time listening to the shit all day long so I can tell you 3 or 4 things in one video. That's why I do it, people. For people that just can't watch just the neutral backgrounds and the neutral voices and the neutral colors, for some neurodivergent people, that's why I'm here. Because neurodivergent people and others, some of us, that bland shit just shuts our fucking heads down. We can't even listen to a 10-minute piece because it's just like, we gotta be doing something else too, because it's just so blah 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 blah. It's hard for some of us to focus. I've got a cat baby in the background, but that's for some people, that's not distracting. For some people, that's a focus. So I can watch what they're doing and appreciate, and then I can absolutely listen. Same thing with the art in the background. You can look at the color and just kind of zone on that while you're. This is why I do this shit, because I'm trying to reach some of the people that maybe the other people aren't reaching, because it's like, I know for me, listening to them, sometimes I'm not just sitting and listening. I'm doing 2, sometimes 3 different things. Sometimes I'm doing a painting and maybe doing a crossword or something while I'm listening to videos. Because my brain, my head, my mind is just constantly, just won't fucking shut up. It just is constantly thinking, rationalizing, compare. I mean, it just won't shut up. So if I give it a bunch of shit to distract it, it's like a child. If I give it a bunch of, if I'm trying to concentrate on something, I give it a bunch of shit that it can distract itself with in the background, so the rest of it can focus on what I want to focus on. I know it sounds nuts when I'm explaining it, but that's the best way right now that I can vocalize how my freaking head works. And if I'm at an event and I'm listening and I'm starting to stray, not because I'm disinterested in the topic, just because my brain is just won't shut up. It needs more things to distract itself. So I'll kind of look around and try to find, if I see something like a dog or an animal, something doing something, I can kind of like concentrate on that, and then suddenly I can totally focus in on what I want to hear. It sounds weird, I know, but there's got to be a reasoning behind it, because sometimes if I can't concentrate, I give my brain more things to work on, and then I can concentrate on that one thing. Does that make sense to any of you? I mean, any of you, does that even sound like, okay? It's like with ADHD. Not everybody's chemistry is different. Some people, it works to give a little bit of, you're up, you get a little lower. But some chemistry doesn't work that way. Some of is it concerta or one of them? One of them, it's like people like, why are you giving speed to somebody who's overactive? Well, because it's like, why do you give caffeine to somebody like that? They're already, no, because some people's bodies will work where you over amp it and it like resets the circuit. You give it so much that the different parts can focus on different things, and then you can listen to that one part that you want to listen to. I don't know if that makes understandable any easier, but if I'm explaining it to some degree that you understand it, let me know. Because it's really hard, even for somebody that writes, that knows words. It's very... It's a very trickily balanced thing. It's and yet it's not. Maybe just because I know how much I have to engage the rest of my brain in something else to a certain level. I know what level that'll click and let me concentrate on. So I know it's going to take 3 things. I am not concentrating. It's going to take 3 different things. Okay, what kind of thing? Okay, set my brain working on this, and this. Let us start working, and let me start paying attention again. Now I can pay. I know that's weird, right? Is that weird? That's weird. That's weird. Yeah. Well, that's me. I get it. I'm weird. I'm unique. When I was in school, it really hurt when people were like, you're weird, you're strange, you're odd. That one hurt. But I am different than, I guess others. Okay. And I'm good with it now. At first it hurt. And in school I would say, I'm not weird, I'm unique. And you're like, oh yeah, you go girl. But I didn't feel it. I said that to make it seem like you're not hurting me. But it hurt. It hurt. It really fucking hurt. As you can see, it hurt. But I've always been that way. I'll hide it and be like, not bothering me at all. Until it didn't. So I faked it until I made it. I kept saying it doesn't hurt me until it didn't hurt me anymore. So, but then when you're in school, fuck, you're already insecure just growing up. Everybody is. And then when some of those people take that and use it against others as like a weapon, so they don't have to act like they're scared, so they just bully, Then it makes it hard, twice as hard. But yeah, it doesn't hurt me now when people say that. I'm like, good, I'm glad I'm different than most people. There's so many people that are such asses. God. Glad I'm not like everybody else, But back then it wasn't, I laughed it off, but I learned enough to know that if you make it look like it's not bothering you, doesn't bother me, whatever. They stopped doing it. But it did bother me. I just said, doesn't fucking bother me. Whatever. But it really fucking hurt. It did. It hurt me. Took a couple decades, but after a while I'm like, fuck that. I'm different. At first it was like, you're different. Like it was a bad thing, When you're younger, it was like, you're different. You're different than us. And you're like, you don't want to be. You want to fit in. Everybody wants to belong. And then, as time goes on, you're out of school and you're still, a young adult and you're still hearing, you're weird. If you make a comment or something, it's like, has anybody ever thought about, and they're like, no, you're weird. And then I got to be like, yeah, okay, yeah, I know, I'm weird. And then a few more years and it was, I know, don't say it. I'm weird. I know, I get it, type of thing. And over time, it's like I revel in it now. Now it's like, I'm happy I'm not the same as everybody else. Yeah, sometimes it's it's tough because I don't think the same way a lot of people do. And I'm only saying that because over my lifetime, I've had a few therapists that have actually said that to me. The way your thought patterns go, it's not the way the majority of people are. Actually, one told me that the way I think is the way most people that become successful professors, that type of university professor type of people, kind of think the way I do. It's kind of like it's a linear, but then I kind of back up and tangent, but at the same time still going forward, So any of you who's out there that the worst thing is that you're different, you're weird because you're just different. That's probably why I'm such a champion for people that are different, any kind of different, I don't hate disability, it's a different ability. People like Down, ADHD, autism. Do you hear that, JFK? Autism. We're just different. We're in the normal. They're just, there's normal here to here. Are we going to start saying what like MAGA is? What's normal skin color? What's a normal hair color? There's typical maybe, but, so what's wrong with having a different way of thinking? Sometimes the people that think out of the box are the ones that get us out of the big fucking problems, You know that, right? A lot of the people that think out of the box are the ones that found the discoveries and the scientific things because they thought out of the box. They thought differently than a lot of other people think. Yeah. Start remembering that when people say you're weird, you're just different than others. Different didn't say bad, different didn't say worse, different didn't say better. Different is just different. Start receiving that differently. Even if they put it at you as a slur, like I did. I didn't feel it, but it looked like I felt it. And the more I said it and they backed off, the more I suddenly felt it actually meant it. So, take my decades of having to figure this out. If you're told a lot of times, you're weird, you're strange, you're different, celebrate it. Cherish that part of you. Don't lose it. Do not abandon it. Because that out of the box different is what moves people ahead, is what discovers things, is what thinks about, hey, why can't we use such and such to do such and such? Why is everybody looking at that? And everybody goes, why not? Why isn't it? Has anybody even tried? And the person's like, well, that's what I'm asking. Why isn't anybody? So if you think out of the box, if you're told you're weird, take it from somebody who lived it. Myself. Say thank you. That's about 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago. I started when somebody was like, you're weird. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. They're like, I meant that as an insult. Doesn't matter. Thank you. I thought the rest of you were fucking nuts. Turn it around on them. You turn it around on them and you pull the rug out from under them. They go into it haughty, thinking they hold all the cards to insult you. And they lay their insult, waiting for the tears or the crushed look, and you brightly go, thank you. You've ruined their fucking setup. And you meant it. You weren't pretending. Just a little tip. So I'm gonna go. I know Judy, you haven't taken your meds yet. I know. Stop making me talk. Just remember that. If anybody here listening says, you're weird, say thank you. And this guy, Billy Simons Jr., go check him out. I know. What a song. Because we're great again. Not yet. That's okay. Midterms? If he's not impeached before then.